Alright, y'all, so if you haven't been keeping up with Dr. Umar, or you don't know who Dr. Umar is, let me just give you a brief glimpse of who he is as a person. Dr. Umar is this activist first. He's a school psychologist. He helps black people specifically with their children, whether it be understanding how the special education works and how it works against black children, whether it be him just being the overall voice for the black community. But Dr. Umar Johnson has recently been under attack for personal reasons, really. So Dr. Umar has two daughters. One is 22 and I think the other one is around, she's a lot younger. I don't want to mix up the ages like that because, I mean, you could Google them if you want to. His 22-year-old daughter, she took to TikTok to talk about how her father wasn't in her life.
Hey TikTok, so I just wanted to come on here with a small short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded.
And Dr. Umar responded in a way that it was kind of questionable.
Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down?
On social media, Dr. Umar is getting attacked for supposedly being a deadbeat. Now, I don't want to throw deadbeat out there as if it's some term that we could label all parents or all fathers who haven't been in their daughter's life, because that wouldn't be fair. We all know that there's a weird relationship or an unfortunate relationship between a black man and a black woman sometimes when they have a child and they're not together. A lot of things can happen in between that relationship. If we take DDG's current situation with his baby mama, Hallie, they're not seeing eye to eye right now, which is causing DDG to see his child less than what he would want. And my problem isn't that they're going through what they're going through. My problem isn't that Dr. Umar and his baby mother can't see eye to eye, which caused him to not have a relationship with his daughters. That is a problem. For the media to take something so personal, so dear to him, because let's keep in mind, Dr. Umar refused to talk about his relationship with his daughters for a long time, and now I understand why. When asked in interviews about his daughters, he would briefly talk about them. He would talk about their age. He wouldn't really go into much detail about the relationship that he shared with them, for obvious reasons. I mean, you're an activist. We know that activists have a terrible history of being attacked, their families being attacked. You got Martin Luther King, his mother, brother, both were killed for who knows what reasons. I would understand why Dr. Umar wanted to keep his personal life out of the media. But I want to say that the fact that the media has discredited Umar and his work due to what's going on or his personal relationships, it baffles me. But I had to, in order to understand where people's opinions were coming from, I had to see eye to eye with them. I understand it. It's because when you see a leader, you expect someone to lead you, or you expect someone to help you out in a sense. If you can't view them as being perfect, then it messes up your mind a little bit. For example, with me, I watch a lot of Dr. Umar videos. I do. I watch the majority of his interviews, I would like to say. And the things that he talks about, I actually go back and do my own research. So for that simple reason, I don't look to Dr. Umar to guide me. I just look to him to teach me, and then I could go fact check and deep dive into the subjects that he talks about during this interview. The way that I look at Umar is as a regular person. So when I see that he's going through something with his daughter or with his baby mama in the media, I ask myself, how do we even get to this point? So we overlook his work. We forget what he does for the black community, and we highlight the negative shit that's going on in his personal life. A lot of you guys are thinking, oh, well, if he's hiding this stuff from us, what else could he be hiding from us? But for me personally, I don't think about the what ifs. I think about what he's given to me as far as what can I value or what can I gain from him speaking in these interviews, which is a sense of empowerment, a sense of understanding, a teaching, a learning. I mean, he's an activist. That's his whole job. But the fact that we allow his background come to the light, and that completely diminishes his character. I think a lot of people, a lot of hateful people were waiting on that perfect opportunity to out Dr. Umar. They criticize him for not having the school built after a certain amount, I think it's like 10, 15 years, right? And that's understandable, especially if you're someone who's donating to the school. But according to Dr. Umar, the people who are criticizing him haven't donated any money toward the school being built. How can you criticize someone for building a school for black children specifically when, for one, you haven't done anything to contribute to it, but secondly, we don't have any black schools in America? How can you be a black person and criticize Dr. Umar for trying to do that? Everyone's deserving of some type of criticism. Everyone deserves criticism. I don't care who you are on this planet Earth. We as a community, we need to take a step back and understand what Dr. Umar is doing for our people. There are millions and millions of families who have benefited from Dr. Umar's teaching. There's a correlation between students, black students specifically, who are diagnosed with some type of special ed disorder in elementary school, and how that correlates to them going to jail afterwards. Where Dr. Umar is an advocate against putting your child in special ed or special needs programs. And a lot of people can advocate for the fact that he helped them out. But then you have this group of other people. You, Dr. Umar, is someone who's been collecting donations for the past couple of years to build a school. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't know what it takes to build a school, so I can't sit here and criticize the man for not having a school open yet. We have seen the building, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We know where it is. It's in Wilmington, Delaware. So if you wanted to go visit it, you can. No, it is not open yet, but from what I understand, it's in the works of being open. The real thing that we could take away from this Dr. Umar situation is that we are now understanding that social media is a very shady place to be, no matter what you do or no matter how much of a positive influence you could be on people. There's going to be someone out there that's going to try to drag you down, which is an incredible indication that you're doing some good in the community, because before this situation, we never heard anything negative about Dr. Umar other than that he hasn't built the school and that it's been 15, 20 years since he's been taking donations. And of course, we don't know what it actually takes to build a school, so how can we criticize him for that? And on top of the fact that he's doing this for our black kids, of course, I can't say anything negative, but the critics out there are going to always have something to say, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. This just goes to show that negative news spreads way quicker than positive news. No one talks about how he goes to different continents, different countries to talk to black people about how to better themselves and how to feel encouraged about who they are as a people and their placement in America or wherever on the globe they live, or wherever area of the world that they live in, man. Having this strong, bold person to go against the grain and do something that's not popular amongst a majority of the people who have some type of influences, I mean, it's courageous. I would love to do something like that. I would love to say, hey, I can stand up for my people and not feel ashamed about it, man. And that's why I salute Dr. Umar. But I just knew it. I knew that something bad was going to happen, because it always happens. It happens to everyone, man. And it's sick to say, but from all of the leaders that we've witnessed, we had Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was called out for sleeping with his wife. And thankfully, Coretta Scott King did not leave him. She stood 10 toes down. Malcolm X, he went through something. Well, I guess Malcolm X controversy was that he was under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They had some type of beef. So there's always some type of obstacle. Well, they didn't have a beef, but there's always some type of obstacle that the media throws out there to tear down our activists, the people that we look up to. And I'm just here to say, man, it's going to happen to anyone. Although he may not have the best relationship with his daughter, although they might not be eye to eye right now, what he's saying about how we should be able to function as a normal family, meaning man or wife, husband, children, everyone's on the same page. We can all branch off of each other. We can all uplift each other. Him encouraging that is way more important than what's going on in his personal life. To look to people as perfect and to expect them to be perfect is something that you should do to the God that you worship. You can't hold the same standards for people who are on level on earth with you as you would the God that you worship, because that's not fair, man. Stop looking up to people to be a godly figure. Just look to them to give you some type of teaching, some type of valuable information, and just walk away with it. Understand that no one's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. And that Dr. Umar is going through this it's sad to see, because I just look at this as another thing or another way to tear him down as a black activist and as ultimately somebody that can change the general standing of black people in America. But go on to social media for your opinions. Listen to the person who the opinion is about. Do what you do with that information, but don't hold it against them. See, man, with me recently turning 26, I feel like my mind has been unlocked to all the foolishness and all the gimmicks that we see in TV. And it really turns me off from just social media in general. And I know some of y'all are looking at me as, bro, you do this as a living, yo. You post videos every day of the week almost. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe. But with that being said, there are some faults with social media. It's kind of like when you work in the corporate world, you work at Walmart. You enjoy working there. That's how you make your living. But there are some things that you wish that you could whistleblow, that you could call out, and that you see going on in the environment that you work in, but you can't do anything really to stop it. But I mean, hey, what can I do, man? I'm just a regular dude, bro. I'm just out here reporting. But, man, yeah, bro, I think we should give Dr. Umar a chance. Every time I see, well, I'm not going to say every time I see Dr. Umar in the media, but a lot of the times we don't give grace to the person or the accused. We just take the side of the accuser. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment down below what I should talk about next, man. Until next time. Make sure to love yourself and everybody with your peace. And chin grease. Boo.